Hey everybody, Chris here, D1Theory. Got another video for you here talking about strength training within preparation for football. So the most important thing when you're trying to make a program or when you're following a program is to understand what exactly are you training for, right? So you're going to see guys when you go into a kind of a local gym, that guys or girls that, they may look like they're in good shape, or they may look like, they're training for whatever, a bodybuilding competition. But that is not the goal of training for a specific sport. If you're a runner or a football player or a soccer player, whatever you do, you need to train specifically for that sport. So if you're training specifically for football, what are your goals, right? If you're a running back, you need to be able to move laterally. You need to be able to move with as much weight as you can as fast as possible. If you're a linebacker or a fullback, you need to be maybe bulking up a little bit to be preparing for those collisions. As an offensive lineman, you want to be pushing maybe as much weight as possible. All those questions need to be answered when you're going into this preparation phase for a season. And then you're going to have different workouts also in season. So if you have a good strength and conditioning coach, if you're able to, if you're in a program that can sustain that has a strength and conditioning coach, that's really, really a plus. I've had some really good strength and conditioning coaches in the past, even at the high school level. So when you're training for football, there are some generic exercises that are going to be within every single program. So any type of training is good. Okay, whether you're running, you're doing sprints, you're training your body weight with your body weight, you're doing strength exercises, or you're doing lifts. The main thing is that you have to do them properly, right? So I've created a few recordings of myself doing a few of the, say, basic lifts or strength movements that I've seen over the last 10 years, 15 years of people working out for football. And I've put together this compilation to show you guys some tips that I've tried to incorporate for me that I've noticed that people do. They just simply do them wrong a lot of the time. So a few tips for you guys to look at to make sure that you're thinking about this when you're doing your recording. So please enjoy. Here are a few clips for you. All right, we'll start here with the bench press. What's really important here is to keep your elbows not flaring completely out, that you're coming down slow and controlled, feet are on the ground, and that you're extending up, not bouncing the bar off your chest. With a shoulder press, you see here, I'm getting my head through the window, okay? This has to do with shoulder mobility. If you cannot do this, you should not be doing this exercise. This is very important to use proper mobility when doing a shoulder press, especially as a quarterback when you're going to be throwing the ball. Again, through the window here with your head. Here's a few examples of some light burpees, right, where you're not going into the push-up position for a little, great workout, really hard. Next level up, if you were to try this to a little bit more challenging here, would be going down into the push-up position, pushing back up, and then jumping up. Again, burpees are a great way to use simply your body weight for conditioning, also for strength, etc. And then kind of the third level up here, take a quick rest, is to go down and then to jump up at the end to make it even more difficult if those first two were too easy for you. So you're down in the push-up, you're coming up, and you're jumping up. And this is going to make it even more difficult than the other ones if you want a little bit more of a challenge here. Next exercise we have here is simply a deadlift. Again, I'm using 20 or 30 kilos here, but if I'm using 100, 150, it doesn't matter. This should always look the same, right? Look at my back. Your back should always be flat. Always got to have a flat back when you're using your whole body to bring this up. And the bar is staying tight to your legs, tight to your body the entire time. Really, really important while doing a deadlift. Next exercise we have here has a few names. I've kind of learned the good morning, which is a good exercise for your lower back. Again, this is not an exercise that you should be using a ton of weight for, but this is something just to put good stress if you have good form here with your eyes up the whole time and flat back on your lower back. Next exercise we have here, which I think are great, kind of a staple exercise for myself, are leg lifts. We can call them, where you're hanging on a pull-up bar or hanging wherever, right? And you're bringing your feet up. This is a good core exercise. Here we're doing simple lunges, staying on one side at a time. What's important here is if you see my front knee not going over my toe, is really, really important here, right? And your front foot is then flat. Again, lunges, squats, these are all staple exercises that should be implemented within your training regimen. Next we have basic push-ups. Again, what's important here, similar to a bench press, is that your arms or your elbows are not flaring out. You got a flat body and you're supporting yourself, and you're going all the way down, all the way up, and you should not be experiencing any pain while doing a push-up. Next exercise we have here is similar to a deadlift, or excuse me, this is a row. So you're similar to a deadlift position, I wanted to say, and you're simply rowing the barbell. So you're bent over and you have a flat back the entire time. You're getting a good extension. You can do this with your arms, with your palms open or your palms closed. This is more of a stiff-legged deadlift where you got a slight bend in the knee, a little bit more strain on your posterior chain, your hamstrings, than a normal deadlift, but kind of in the same category here, which is good to kind of spice things up. But again, always keeping your back flat here. Another stable exercise, obviously, is the squat. Again, I'm using 20 to 30 kilograms here, whether I'm using 20 or 50 or 80 or 100 or 150. These should all look the same. Your weight is on your heels. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video and that you were able to maybe take something from that, maybe write it down, think about it within your upcoming off season or season, what have you. Right now, with the situation with COVID, a lot of people are not able to play. Most people are not able to play, so the time is really now to focus your energy on preparing yourself when the time does come. Therefore, don't be lazy, don't be sitting around. There's always something to do. There's always a way to get better, so get after it.